You're watching Money Talk Viewpoint, and I'm Chantel Leeson. Thank you for joining us today. You know, one of the unique factors about all businesses that they have in common, successful businesses know how to connect to the right people with the right message at the right time. What we do at Money Talk Viewpoint is to introduce you to an audience so that we hope to get you in that right niche where you're meeting the right people. And since we're on as what they call an evergreens platform, they will pick up on you in the middle of the night. We hope we get the right person for you at the right time. So my special guest today is Don Spafford. Did I pronounce that right?
That's correct.
Okay. So Don's going to tell us about what he does. And this is the key time of the year because the first of the year. Don, I'm going to switch mics on. I'm going to put you on personally, but we'll pop on in and out. But tell the audience what you do.
Yeah, thanks, Chantel. My pleasure to be here. So I work with Beyonder Holdings. We are a outdoor hospitality investment company. So we actually purchase and manage RV campground resorts and marinas all across the country. And we purchase these with investors that come on board with us through syndications. We, of course, love to work with family offices and private equity groups as well that can help fund these purchases and the expansions of them. So that's primarily what we focus on.
Well, let me ask you, Don, what led you to get involved with this? Tell us specifically what your niche is and what Beyonder does specifically.
Yeah, for sure. So as I mentioned, we purchase RV campground resorts and marinas. This is kind of a very specific niche in real estate. We still do what's called a value add process on these properties. Many people may be familiar with value add multifamily, whereas they purchase those and then improve the property through updates to the flooring, appliances, and paint to make the property more valuable, to increase the rents, and therefore give returns back to investors. We're doing a similar thing with the campgrounds, but instead of replacing flooring and appliances and that kind of stuff, we are typically doing a lot of expansion. We'll add on more RV sites, more amenities, improve, of course, the processes and systems that are there, make upgrades to like their hookup components where people hook up to electricity and utilities, general site improvements to make it nicer and cleaner, get great online website presence to get those online reservations and bookings. And what led me to this, I'll say, give a little bit of background. So my background actually is in finance, banking, investment science, and portfolio management. But I started investing in real estate myself in 2017 and was really pushing towards multifamily. Was kind of the realm that I got into, as most people tend to do, because it's I guess familiar and there's plenty of that type of product available. But myself, as I was really getting into it heavily in early 2021, in my opinion, the returns were not good enough for what I was really searching for and what I'd been doing on my own. And so I was just searching for something that could be out there that's better, that could give better returns, maybe without even so much competition to have to outbid everybody else just to get something. And that's kind of how I guess would say stumbled across RV campgrounds. As I listened to many podcasts as I would work and do things that just to learn new things about finance and investing. And I heard on a different podcast somebody else talk about RV campgrounds. That really got me interested because where I live in eastern Idaho, we're very close to Yellowstone Park. Most of my neighbors have RVs and go camping all the time. So I saw this as a potentially untapped niche where there's a lot of opportunity and a lot of even potential users that go to these campgrounds who could also be investors in them. And so I started researching more and learning about the multiple income streams they provide, and just really set out to want to get involved and learn more. And I started networking with people that are already in that space. And that's why I eventually ran across a couple of guys who are now my partners. And that's what I've been doing ever since.
You covered a lot there. In fact, you covered my next question. I was going to ask you what led you to get involved in that niche, but you actually answered that question for me. And I think the audience listening in, they can understand how you got into the niche. Well, how long has Beyonder, and am I pronouncing that right, Beyonder?
Yes.
How long has it been in business?
So Beyonder was formed in 2020. My two partners, the founding partners, they are both outdoor enthusiasts and actually met on a paragliding outing and discovered that they are both in real estate and started becoming friends and going camping together and came up with the plan to start buying campgrounds on their own. So they initially thought we'd buy a few campgrounds for holding our family and that's it. but then realized, well, how do we get to 100? And they quickly realized that they cannot do that on their own. And so kind of just set out to start building a team. And that's kind of where I came in, just the right time, right place to meet up with those guys. And I got involved with them in 2021, and we've bought several properties since then. And so yeah, we've been, it's a relatively new company, I guess we'd say, for this niche of real estate. But to be honest, there's not a lot of people that are in this particular niche of RV campgrounds, which is great for us because now, even though there's a short time we've been in it, we are, I'd say, one of the leaders in this industry. More of the name and brand recognition out there for this type of investment property in RV campgrounds.
I'll tell you something very interesting about what you just mentioned. A lot of people that aren't familiar with this niche of campgrounds. A lot of us have, we looked at multi-income properties, apartments.
Yep.
And you mentioned you didn't get a good return that you were looking for. And I'm imagining there are a lot of people out there that don't get a good return for whatever reason and
Sure.
are looking for an opportunity to get into real estate. I mean, what type of returns would the under holdings offer to investors?
Yeah, definitely. And I think you appreciate that. So the properties that we are targeting to purchase, we are looking to provide back to our investors an average of a 12 to 15% cash on cash and a 2.5 to 3x equity multiple over a 5-year hold period, which also, incorporates about a 20 to 25% plus IRR. And additionally to that, if that's not enough, we tend to deliver very high depreciation. We do cost segregation studies to receive the accelerated depreciation in year 1. And compared to other types of real estate, the depreciation in RV campgrounds can be very high. It's maybe something that most people don't quite comprehend. Even myself, initially, I was like, how is this coming from? But because you think it's just land, but it's not just land. There's all the infrastructure, the roads, utility connections, those pedestals, all those things fall into those categories that can be accelerated in year 1. And therefore, typically, the bulk of that purchase price falls into that accelerated depreciation category. And when we were at the time when we were receiving 100% bonus depreciation, it is possible to have received on the investor K1s, which we did provide on some of our investor K1s from 2022. We've been able to deliver a 222% depreciation on the investors K1s. So that kind of a depreciation you typically don't see very often in other types of real estate.
No, you don't. I'm going to say that you're covering so much material about the real estate. I'm hoping that in fact, I know that people that are listening to this are going to want to reach out to find out more because I didn't know about campgrounds. And in fact, we've gone camping, but I never thought of it as an investment. I thought that people just bought it and used a spot to hook up their campers to, and that was that. But this is very, very interesting to learn something I didn't know about. Let me see, how are campgrounds, you might have mentioned it, but how do they really differ from other types of real estate investments?